What's up, guys? My name's Anthony, and in this video, we are going to talk about Chainlink from the technical analysis standpoint, give you guys an update, including, for the first time ever on this channel, we're going to give you the BTC Link pairing, talk about what's been happening there. Also going to talk about how Bitcoin has potentially topped out here and found a top. We'll get into what that means for Chainlink, as well as giving you the areas of support and resistance that I will be watching this week as a trader. But before we get into it, I just want to ask you to consider subscribing to our channel if you find value in the content. And one of the things that we do on this channel is give you regular Chainlink updates. So definitely keep that in mind. Definitely consider subscribing. But let's take a look at the market as a whole today. So it is a Monday. It is December 21st, 2020, and the market is showing a lot of red as we scroll through. You can see beyond my arrow there as we scroll through the top 30. Most coins are in the red. At the time of this recording, Chainlink is trading at $12.47, down 8% on the day, right? But a lot of altcoins are bleeding out, as is Bitcoin itself. And as I mentioned in the introduction, Bitcoin may have found its local top here as we broke our new all-time high and hit roughly $24,100. So the question remains, is this going to retrace back down to the previous all-time high, which is right around $19,000 and change? And I'm sure most of you guys know that. So you can see my alert here is set for $20,000. And I do believe it's possible for Bitcoin to fall back down that low. And I also think it's somewhat logical at this point, because considering how fast and hard Bitcoin rose here in the last week. And if we take a look at the candle from last week, we rose a whopping 27%, and you can see it was all in 1 week. This is the biggest 1 week gain that we've had after a series of massive gains. So Bitcoin is definitely due to pull back. So what's that mean in terms of Chainlink as it stands on its own? And what's that mean in terms of Chainlink as it compares to Bitcoin? Well, one thing that I believe is possible right now is that as Bitcoin slows, some of the money may flow out of Bitcoin and into either stablecoins and or altcoins. And I did mention that a little bit in this video here, where I made this video 2 days ago talking about Ethereum. So check that out. But I want to show you a pattern here that I've found. So what you're looking at here is a descending or a falling wedge pattern, which of course is a downwards pattern in nature, but it's actually bullish once the pattern breaks out. So this is a bullish reversal pattern, and you can see I've got this top target here of around 131,900 Satoshis. Right at the moment, that would be pretty much a 2x. That would be basically a 100% gain here. Again, we're talking about in terms of Bitcoin. If you're not so interested in that, if you're just interested in USD, just fast forward this video about 2 minutes, and I will get into the Link to USD chart as I always do. But for those who have been asking, this is a textbook descending wedge. You can see we have multiple touches on the down and the upside here. You can see we have declining volume, and you can see the pattern is over 3 weeks long. So everything is checking out here. We've got the lower highs. We've also got the lower lows, which are descending at a slower pace. So what we're really watching for is we're watching for Link to break past the top of this level, which at the moment is 62,768 Satoshis. Roughly, we're looking for, I say roughly because that's a moving target and will change as time passes, but we can see Chainlink start to break out of the top of here, especially if Bitcoin keeps correcting. That on top of the fact that Link has been somewhat ranging. And as you can see here, we have been up, down, and really trading in kind of a parallel channel, just moving sideways here for the last month or so. Right before that, we were really truly showing true strength to the upside, and now we've been kind of ranging. So really interesting stuff. So if Bitcoin declines and we just continue ranging, then the value of Link as compared to Bitcoin will definitely increase. But let's turn our attention to the Link USD chart. And in my last video, we were talking about a head and shoulders top here, and I was talking about the potential low of $8.71, but I also said in that video I was thinking more around $11 would be a low point. Again, I'll link to that up top if you want to check that out. But we did see not exactly $11, but we did see this fall out of there to a low of roughly $11.35. And you can see this orange dotted line is where I have my alert set. I'm curious to see if the price falls that low. I do think with a falling market as a whole, I do think it's possible for Chainlink to fall that low again, and I will go on the record and say that for us. I think that could be possible within the next 48 hours if Bitcoin continues to decline and take the altcoins with it. But the other thing I want to show you is this new uptrend, this is the first time I'm showing this one in a video here, but this dates back to September 22nd. And we're no longer in that parallel channel we were talking about for a long time, but we do still have an uptrend intact here, and we did touch the bottom of it. And currently that bottom is $12.12. So that's another thing to consider. We could just float around here and potentially start to climb out of it. So we have to see what Bitcoin does in the market as a whole. In general, as I look at the candles here, this is very bearish. We've got these doji candles up here, and then the bears seem to have taken control. And so this is bearish in general, but again, we've got that trend line potentially providing some support right now. So we'll have to see where that goes. On the upside, if we do turn bullish at some point midweek or later in the week, I've got two levels that I want you guys to be aware of. The first one on the upside is $14.50, right? This is an area of resistance we saw on December 17th. We saw it over here on November 30th, back here on November 20th. So this has been somewhat of a local top here. Of course, if you really look here, we've also got on the way up $13.48. That's another one you should be aware of. That's right there. So if you're looking to buy low and maybe do a quick swing trade, right, you might want to be aware of that level also. I'll leave that there. That's $13.50 or $13.48. And then I also just wanted to point out one more thing for us here. We've got a declining level of resistance up top from our all-time high of roughly $20, right? And we saw this coming down here. And so this is just something to keep an eye on as a potential top or resistance level if we do climb that high. Now that would be past this level, that would be past the level of $14.50, and that could potentially be as high as, let's say if it happens on January 1st or December 30th, let's say December 30th, that could be as high as $15.17. So that's another level to look out for if things turn bullish. But remember, for this chart to turn bullish, all Link has to really do in terms of USD is trade sideways, because Bitcoin is potentially going to keep falling. So if Bitcoin falls, but Chainlink trades in parallel with the dollar and trades sideways as terms of the dollar, it's going to rise against Bitcoin. Hopefully that makes sense for you. I know some crypto traders like to trade in and out of Bitcoin, and I really want to make sure I covered this for you. Definitely make sure to smash the likes if you're happy. If you want me to continue covering the Chainlink to Bitcoin chart as well, let me know in the comments section. And if you'd like to learn more about why I think altcoins are going to do better than Bitcoin in the coming months, check out this video on Ethereum right here on your screen right now. And with that, I ask you to never invest more than you can afford to lose in cryptocurrency and to enjoy the ride. Thanks, guys.